So lucky I had an interruption there, but yeah, that's right. So we all have a higher power whom we serve, and we serve, of course, the most highest, the supreme highest, as our apostles used to say. The highest omnipotent power. All right. So this is Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. This is, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. All right, and that's right. We don't well understand that the spirit, of course, is the word, and everything that the scriptures tell us what we're commanded of us to do in the most wickedest time that's ever existed. When you look at America, right, mainly so-called black culture, right, which I hate to use this phrase, but something as like an umbrella term, which it really is, because so-called black culture, so-called YN culture, what have you. All right, it's really pretty much applied to all tribes. But even when you look at one tribe specifically, the chief tribe, Judah, or as well as Benjamin and Levi, when you look at everything that Israel as a whole does, all right, when they're not in this truth, they're just wandering in this wide space called the congregation of the dead, man. They mind the things of the flesh, and however they live their life, they're bringing upon themselves the destruction, man, and they're living their lives in error. That's why that's why it says what it says in Wisdom of Solomon, man. All right, you're bringing upon yourselves a culture as well as a way of living that just breeds death, man. It's not for no reason. When you look up, well, first off, the most highest, um, um, the most catered portion of culture is really not only rap and that specific genre of music, but also crime, man. All right, it has a great level of glorification that our people just crave, you know. Excuse me. Especially when you look at our youth and what comes from that, it really is also Esau Edom that forwards that type of media and so-called entertainment to our people, and that's really what entertainment is as well. It means to be kept in a certain frame of mind. All right. So this is Hosea 4:6. It says, "For my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children." All right, and indeed, our people are spiritually destroyed for that lack of knowledge, man, for that lack of knowing this truth, for the lack of even knowing that there's supposed to be a battle going on within ourselves, to knowing that we're in this physical chains, yet our spirit craves for righteousness. But here it is, the Lord pretty much has it to which of course is a curse. All right, it began as the children of Israel going astray, going after these other gods, and now it's the worst it's ever been. And why is that? Because in the era of their life, they're putting upon themselves the destruction with the works of their hands. You can only do so much with your own control, but we do have the greatest choice that's been given to us, which is to serve the Heavenly Father in His ways, all right, to seek the old paths, or just to seek what the hell's around you, which is what? Destruction, man. King David prophesied of that, man, the valley in the shadow of death, and that's pretty much all you see around you. I keep saying the media, but again, you have music videos as a way of living, the culture that's surrounded by it. Me personally, growing up, the media, the media or the Internet of Things was on the come up, so you pretty much had, yes, you did have the truth on YouTube, but you had everything else, which literally was just vanity. And if it wasn't vanity, it was just wickedness. If it wasn't if it wasn't wickedness, which it's still wicked, all right, it's the feeding or the force feeding of this so-called culture of our people, man. To hate your brother, to lewd behavior, all right, and especially now, that's at the most highest it's ever been. YouTube Shorts and comedy, as in again general comedy, is so fast paced. It's so up in your face, like that, and like that. Next short is gonna be something stupid. This next short is gonna be about YN behavior and glorifying it. Next short is gonna be about upbeat, music, about the previous short, which was just YN behavior and death and carnality, and it just feeds it to you consistently, man. And guess what? Our people are literally fed these things, and they don't reject it; they embrace it, man. And in doing so, they also reject the Heavenly Father, man. All right, that is the culture. That is literally the infamous black culture, in reality, man. All right, and even Jake within the world noticed there's like a huge line that can be drawn between that sort of aspect. I think they're calling it now so-called black fatigue, you know, it's so bad that you literally have Jake that's just in the world that hates that other part of the world, man. You know, the all in all, that's why the Lord told us to not only to be a part of that certain evil, all right, but to not put upon themselves destruction, man. All right, and that's pretty much what our people have become and what they are doing. Um, let me bring this out in Proverbs. All right, Proverbs 21. Actually, before I get that, let me hop on over to. Yeah, this is so back in Wisdom of Solomon. This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 12. In the new, this is a different version. This is a new revised standard version, updated edition. That's a mouthful, but that's actually an acronym, NRSVUE. That's still a mouthful, but it says here, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 12. Do not court death by the error of your life, or bring on destruction by the works of your hands. And that indeed is destruction. Everything that I just mentioned, which is pretty much the antithesis, all right, of pretty much anything that has to do with righteousness, man. The works of that. And when you look up the word court, right, it pretty much means the old way. When you look it up, it means to be involved with romantically, typically with the intention of marrying. All right. So when you court someone, in the ancient world, yeah, it means to flatter, to get someone's attention. You know, men would court with women, what have you, right? So in this case, literally, our people are in a lot of ways are courting or romantically involved, not romantically, but they're joining themselves onto sin, man, and that's what it is. It's not just something that's viewed as plain evil. It's sin because it literally contradicts and goes against specifically what the laws of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, and that brings upon the errors of our lives and as well as the destruction of the works of your hands, man. You know, if our people are atheists, they're into Christianity, which is an idol. Jesus Christos. If they're not into that, they're into Islam, worshiping Allah, literally the god of the Ishmaelites, man. You know, but nevertheless, this is the predicament that our people have found themselves in, man. All right, and that's literally the where this predicament Israel has found themselves in as a whole. All right, so that pretty much just means to not cast upon those same works, because really our lives are joined with life. So, and the thing is, in the era of our ways, we actually seek life, and then some. We actually live that specific lifestyle we were intended to embark on this whole time. All right, this is Proverbs 21 and 16. It says, "The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead." All right, and you best believe not only those that wandered and that found themselves in that specific congregation, in that specific world of sin and just really two-thirdness. All right, they love the works that they fulfill, man. On the left-hand side. All right. This is Romans 8. I'm gonna go back to it. Romans 8 and 5. It says, I'm gonna reread it and kind of pretty much end it off here. That was pretty much the point, you know. It says, "For they that after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, and to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is an enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Lord, neither indeed can be." Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna keep reading. It just goes into just that, man. All right, how the majority of Israel, those that commit evil, they're not going to be walking or being hand in hand with the Heavenly Father. That's just not possible, you know. But we, all right, Lord's willing, we be of that number. The elect men in the era of their life, we seek actual righteousness, all right. And we're not going to pull upon ourselves harm or destruction, or in the wake of everything that's around us, man. That's what makes us truly stand out, and that's really what makes us shine too. All right, that in the light of all this wickedness, we're able to turn to the Heavenly Father and actually able to the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai fulfill the works of light. You know, in the midst of all this overflow of just death culture. You know, so although this video was edifying, I'm gonna close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, Agner Millstone, let me teach over well, and peace and blessings be unto you, full of Akim, you brothers, that also push out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. With that, I'm gonna say Shalom.